Scott Agness here of FieldhouseFiles.com. Welcome inside Mohegan Sun Arena, where the big game tonight was the season opener for the Indiana Fever at the Connecticut Sun. A sellout crowd, 8,910, witnessed the first game of the WNBA season, and of course, highlighted by Caitlyn Clark's debut in the league. It was, by the way, the first home sellout for the home opener since the inaugural season. You got to go all the way back to 2003, the last time that happened. It was ultimately a Connecticut Sun win, 92-71, and it all got started with all the eyes on Caitlyn Clark. It was kind of an awkward sequence just before the tip ball where there were about 4 or 5 cameras on the floor, and they waited a couple of minutes, clearly waiting for that TV window on ESPN Plus, on Disney Plus, on ESPN Plus as well, with so many looking to see how Caitlyn and the Fever measured up here, obviously being the top overall pick. A lot of interest in this game, especially on the heels of Iowa reaching the national title game and the women's game over the last couple of years. And so once again, for the second year in a row, the Fever starting their season against Connecticut. It was at home last year, up in Connecticut here on Tuesday night, and right away Caitlyn Clark picked up 2 quick fouls in the first 5 minutes, missed her first 3 shots, immediately felt the physicality from the Connecticut Sun, went to the bench just 5 minutes in, and there was a notable sequence, I thought, going into the halftime break. First of all, Caitlyn was frustrated, shared some of those thoughts and emotions with one of the officials, and then Aaliyah Boston, not a veteran, she was the top overall pick. She was in the position of Caitlyn is right now last year, and Aaliyah put her arm around Caitlyn and had something to say to Caitlyn as they walked back to the locker room.
Yeah, I think just expecting the physicality was the biggest thing. Like, those aren't calls you're gonna get. Like, they're gonna get those calls. It is what it is, and I think that was basically all she said. Like, just be calm, be aggressive, and be you.
Caitlyn ultimately finished with a game-high 20 points, 3 assists, but 10 turnovers. And I think that will be an ongoing theme not only for Caitlyn, but the rest of this Fever team, especially in the early going. It's so many games so quickly, which sometimes can be a benefit, right? A game like this where you lose 92-71, you quickly turn the page and move on to the next one. The thing is, this team needs time together. They need continuity and chemistry and to establish themselves with one another, especially when implementing such a key piece like Caitlyn Clark. So she finished with 20 points. The star player overall in this one was Alyssa Thomas, a triple-double, 13 points, 10 rebounds, and 13 assists to help the Connecticut Sun to the win. And in all, I mean, there's so much going on with Caitlyn right now. She's led to unprecedented ticket sales, both here on the road and, of course, back in Indiana with the Fever. There's new sponsorships. Even today, a brand new banner of Gatorade going up and went up outside the Hyatt Hotel in downtown Indianapolis. There's more commercials like with Gatorade. So there's so much going on. She's trying to assimilate and get comfortable with her teammates and likewise. So post-game, after she shared her thoughts about the game, I asked her how she could be the best version of herself while adapting with so much change going on in her life right now.
I think just going day by day and, trying to do the best you can no matter what. Obviously, I would have liked to play a little better tonight. I think all of us would say that if we were all sitting up here, and as a team collectively, we would have liked to play better and shown a better product, because I thought we've had some really good practices leading up to this game. But, I think the biggest thing is just, learn from it, move on. Things are going to come fast. That's how it is. This season goes fast. There's 39 games left and plenty of opportunities to do what we want to do. But like Coach said, you have to be able to learn and watch it, and that's the way to get better, because there's only going to be so much we can do on the court tomorrow before we play the Liberty at home.
Now, turnovers were the issue all game long for this Fever team, not just Caitlyn. That's the entire team, and it's something that Coach Christy Sides talked about post-game that they needed to address in a number of ways, both coaching, how players executed, their spacing in particular, not being lazy with the ball, and then more than that, Connecticut Sun are one of the best defensive teams in the league. They have size, they have athleticism, they have length, and especially the length of Carrington was really able to bother Caitlyn Clark throughout much of the game. I give her a lot of credit for what she was able to do. Really, she did what we're going to see all the defenders do against Caitlyn Clark this season. Try to rise to the occasion. Try to challenge her, because they not only don't want to get embarrassed, but they want to say, hey, I'm a better defender and can hold my own against you. And I thought that's what Carrington, who came off the bench last year, is now in a starting role, was able to do this season. And now as they get that started here, so that's something to watch against Caitlyn Clark and opponents here moving forward. But Coach Christy Side says it's on all of them.
Yeah, I think for me, the biggest challenge, and it's what I told them, like, you don't have time to sit on this game and just stay mad or stay upset. Like, we've got to move forward. We've got to get to New York. We've got to figure out what we did tonight that we can do better. On offense, especially the 25 turnovers. And some of them were just like, they were trying to go inside. They were throwing it really from far out. Like, we've got to have people coming back to the ball and then attacking, getting in the paint. So we've got to get back to figuring out how to handle the Reds. That's what we're going to see all year.
Yeah, the Suns team's a veteran team. They've reached the finals twice in the last 5 years. They've reached the semifinals the last 5 years in a row. They're all about defense. So this is just a bad and very difficult matchup for the Fever to get their season started and usher in a new era and try to mix all these new pieces together so quickly. You'd like to see more from Aaliyah Boston inside. She just had 4 points and 6 rebounds. That's something Coach Sides talked about post-game. And now it's about resetting. It's looking over the film, learning from these mistakes, but also moving on quickly. This was game 1 of their season. They play 7 games in the first 12 days, and I think 11 in the first 20. Part of that's the Olympic schedule. Part of it's trying to cram so many games in a short time. And it's also because the Fever are featured in so many nationally televised games. Again, 36 of their 40 games, primarily, obviously, because of Caitlyn Clark. And so tonight was on ESPN+. Thursday will be the debut for Prime Video in the WNBA this season. So again, that's something else for the Fever to watch. But the good news is they were the first team to experience the charter flight program that the WNBA has established. It's not fully intact for everyone, but that Delta charter program, very similar to what the NBA in particular with the Pacers do. It's not all teams, but about all but 3 or 4 NBA teams use this service. Fever were able to take advantage of that, so probably by the time I finish my post-game story and get this video up that you're watching late Tuesday, early Wednesday, they will already be back in Indy, get a good night's sleep, be able to practice and review that film, and then move on to the next game Thursday against the New York Liberty, and what will absolutely be a sellout crowd, more than twice the crowd of this one. This one, 8,910. The sellout back in Indianapolis is 17,000 plus. So that will be a lot of fun, and I'll have more coverage for you at fieldhousefiles.com on my YouTube page as well Thursday night as the Indiana Fever hosts the Liberty. For now, from Mohegan Sun Arena, this is Scott Agness of fieldhousefiles.com.